I think he was looking for this. Find Eric for me. He's going on a little trip. And I have an account to settle with a certain bastard of Radzig's. And yet we share the same fate. Oh yes, my family was slain too. Are you afraid? You better hope your father pays a nice fat ransom. Bark at me, you dog! Who the hell do you think you are? Eric! We're just about to do some gutting. A fair fight. Well, of course, you do have a father. Although he's not gone so far as to give you his name. The main thing is, find Job's spy, Liechtenstein. And Eric went through the same thing. That's why I took him in. We're one big family of orphans. My family was slain too, by the Turks. There's always time for this. You're making a terrible mistake! Or are you finally going to learn? No one's yet built the gallows I'll swing from, boy. It reminds me of someone. Who is this madman? When did you start recruiting Radzig's people, Eric? Please forgive my abrupt departure without saying goodbye yesterday. Surely you're not going to listen to some vagabond? I almost felt sorry for Radzig's bastard. But we got what we want. We were defending the castle as you ordered! Well, of course, you do have a father. Although he's not gone so far as to give you his name. By the Turks. I felt just like you do. I felt just like you do. And Eric went through the same thing. That's why I took him in. There'll be time when we meet again. They're making up shit to avoid the gallows! Is it worth suffering like this to protect that traitor and turncoat Jobst? And what's more, I have this wonderful entertainment before bedtime. I'll sleep the sleep of the dead. Fancy that. Right under Sigismund's nose. I don't suppose he's on a diplomatic mission, is he? My, such ugly words. But it won't stop your suffering. In the end, you'll tell me even what you don't know. You'll sing all right. What is it, priest? Is there something you'd like to tell us? Oh, I will. Don't you worry. But now back to work. I'll be the judge of that, if you don't mind. I have the letter you were taking to von Burgo, but the soft touch doesn't seem to be working. So I'll have to leave it to Ernest here. Step it up, Ernest. We'll see how smug he is after that. This might surprise you, but I believe you. And you've saved this bastard's life. You'll be rewarded in heaven for that. I honestly don't understand why you're trying to play the hero. I'll pretend you never said that. Now you have one last chance. I've had a couple of hard, nerve-wracking days, but in the end everything went according to plan. Good question. But you're mistaken. There's more chance I'll kill you if you don't talk. You've all seen that I've tried. Despite everything between us, I've tried. You're quite witty for a priest. I like you. It seems you don't value your life. To be fair, though, if I were in your shoes, I'd probably want it to be all over quickly, too. That's a good start. And what about his lackey, young Lord Liechtenstein? You still have the strength for jokes, I see. Well, as you wish. As you wish. Shut him up! You didn't do a very good job then, did you? But I don't have the time. So I'll gut someone else and leave you to Ernest here. Get rid of him. I have 2 more guests to attend to, and I want to get some sleep. If you are, then yes, he does confide in me. Fancy that! And that's why I don't believe for a moment that your father doesn't tell you anything. Normally, I'd have a bit more fun with you. I did promise at Nebakov to gut you, after all. Of course. What else? Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? Indeed, that's highly likely. And what's more, it will hurt. Really hurt. Do you think people like me are afraid of hell? Ernest! Where is he? If you talk, it will hurt a lot less. And who knows? Maybe we'll keep you. But not what I wanted to hear from you, I'm afraid. So you force me to carry on. On account of your cronies here? The captain already told me plenty, and the priest here is shaking like a leaf. He won't last long. You think you'll throw me off with your little jokes? You're only making things worse for yourself. You think I'm going to believe that as Capon's escort you never met Jobsten Liechtenstein? You think you can wriggle out of this so easily and that I'll kill you without getting what I want? Even if it's just a bit of pleasure? No, no. Do you think letting yourself be killed will do any good? This is not your war. That's all very well, and it may even be true. But it tells me nothing about where they are now and what they're doing. What is it? Cat got your tongue? Come on then, get your breath back. Stop pretending to be a half-wit. You're insulting my intelligence and your own too. Hear that? He's concerned about other people's souls while he's being tortured. That's a first for me. Don't take me for a fool, boy. Don't try to make an ass out of me, Radzig's bastard. Well, I'll be. He sent him right into Sigismund's lap. Well now, a bit of sense at last. You can start with what was discussed in Ratai. At last! Not hard, is it? Go on then. You'd do better to say your prayers, priest. It'll be your turn soon. Tell me right now what you say you didn't understand. Or do you want Ernest to help you think? Then you'll be able to go back to that shithole of yours. But now the fun's over. I don't have all night to deal with you. The powerful lords invoke hell to keep simpletons like you in line. God doesn't give a shit about me. And the feeling's mutual. Would you look at that? You've still got some fire in you. But don't worry. You'll get your turn. Still nothing? As you wish. Listen, you bastard. Stop talking shit and answer my questions. Turncoat. Now, don't tell me there are disputes in King Wenceslas's camp. That would sadden me. This is the last time I'll ask. What do you know about Jobst and Liechtenstein? Where did they go from Ratai? What do they have planned? You told me more than you think. And you ought to get some rest. Now listen up. If you tell me what I want to know, I'll stop. And I'll get von Bergau to demand a ransom for you from Radzig. You might be a bastard, but you're your father's only son. Maybe he'll pay up for you. Well then, that will do for today. Was that a rhetorical question, or are you actually asking? You had your chance to speak. It's your own stupid fault you didn't take it. So we'll see how your new best friend Henry is doing. Well, had enough at last? Can we start being serious finally? I'll repeat the question, but this is the last time I ask nicely. Jobst and Liechtenstein, where are they? What were they doing in Ratai? So, Jobst and that other bastard, Liechtenstein, where are they? What are they doing? What was discussed in Ratai? Listen to him, Ernest. Like a child of the night. Beautiful music, isn't it? Let's try this again. Jobst and Liechtenstein, where are they? Why did they meet with Radzig? What do they have planned? Well, finally we're getting to the truth. That is, apart from the bit about you not understanding them. Tell me then, what's on your mind, Father? Spill it then! Quickly, before I change my mind. It's time to start singing, Captain. Where are Jobst of Luxembourg and Jan of Liechtenstein? Right now. But if you want a bit of enjoyment, you can make it slow. So you're not going to talk? In that case, you won't be needing your tongue. In the mood for flights of fancy, eh? We must be going too easy on you. Now rest up. You'll need a lot of strength for tomorrow. There's a lot more I want to know. Good night, gentlemen. I don't care. He had his chance. Take the tongs and get on with it. I don't care if he dies. That's not really news. I want to know where he is now. That's better. And what about Liechtenstein? So, the Margrave has made his gambit. Fancy that. And where is he now? See? All you had to do was cooperate a bit, and now it's all over. Wasn't all that blood spilt needlessly? I know it was written by Hanush, Radzig, and Jobst. So I know you saw him. And now you'll tell me everything that happened and what he said to you. Excellent. As soon as we're done with the captain here, we'll turn our attention to him. What's the penance for such blasphemy, priest? How many are fathers and all that shit, eh? I expected you to act the hero, but I have to admit you're tougher than I thought. You want to fight? Are we supposed to roll around on the floor like a couple of village oafs? You don't even have a weapon! And then, what will you do after that, stronger dog? And I was lucky enough to become a member of his court. How are you lot going to do that? And what will you have out of it? What's your plan for the future? And one day they did come. My father's fortress was reduced to ashes, and I ended up. Because you morons are trying to rescue a king who's a drunkard so that the local noblemen can continue their thieving in a land without a ruler. That made an impression on him and helped me get where I am today. But I did pretty well for myself. Not only was I one of the few to survive the massacre, I even helped the ginger fox save his hide. And then, the entire League of Lords, the Prague councillors. So you'll kill me? That's how it will be? You'll take that long-desired sword of both your fathers? But as well as taking, the war also gave our lives meaning. Yours, mine, just like everyone caught up in it. You're damn sure of yourself. That's another way you're like me. While we two, we both refused to accept our fate. And look where we ended up. Look after number one. Side with the strong. Loyalty is all very well, but the noblemen are just out for themselves too. And what will you do when you're finished with that mission? You want to stop the war started by King Wenceslas's incompetence by helping that same Wenceslas? Eric's an orphan, like us. I found him during a raid in Moravia. I'll give you a piece of advice in life, lad. Suit yourself. Revenge doesn't give life meaning. It's just childish nonsense. It won't feed you. You can't fuck it. I'm worried, make no mistake. Come on, lad, who else? Your band of peasants from Lower Swamphole led by a turncoat who wants to save the king of the wineskins? Games? We're here alone and I'm unarmed. There are only a few soldiers here at the castle. There's nothing to stop you killing me. That said, it's necessary sometimes. I can't deny that. And you can't imagine what will happen if he fails to stop the Turks. To you two, to all of us, I lived through it. Whatever you say, if you say so. You asked why Sigismund, like I already said, like you. Who? Who? All of you! Betrayed by your idle drunken king who you want to rescue. Who knows if Radzig will think twice about you when the war ends. And I could have. Cutthroats like that don't give a shit who they're killing or why. Ah, fuck! Ha! I'll skewer you with your father's sword. I almost feel sorry for you. Almost! What are you waiting for? Let's finish this. Come on then! Finish it! So, you want your father's sword? Come and get it. You're finished, boy. Come on then, I thought you wanted revenge. So, you still think you can take me? You won't run from me this time. I'll quench you like a candle. We're on opposite sides, but I've already lived through your whole life. I'm only trying to advise you, lad. We're just pawns on the chessboard. You can't change anything. Nobody will give you anything. You're just there to be exploited and sacrificed. War took your home and family. Do you think you're the only one? I'd say the dust has been settling on that one for a long time. No doubt there's some poignant tale of von Burgo's ancestors tied to it. What a huge battle that was. Thanks to the French, Sigismund was defeated so badly that it's still a source of shame for him to this day. I was born in Banat, on the border with Hungary. All my childhood, my parents would threaten that if I misbehaved, the Turks would come for me. You'll never separate us. Get ready to fight! No, boy, you're not. War is a nasty business. Or will you kill Sigismund? Who put them on your list? The Pope? Eric had the same fate as you. Vengeance? Or are you here to make peace? Aren't you fighting for King Wenceslas to stop the war? So it's up to you alone to grab whatever you can and join the right side, because the stronger dog, you'll do nothing of the sort. Never! I won't allow it! But go ahead and ask. The night is young and I'm in no hurry. You see? And yet you say we're not the same? My parents were killed by the Turks. Same shit, different day. See now. At least you've learned one thing from me. If you think you have a chance, be my guest. I did the one thing that made sense. I took revenge. I fought against the Turks until one day I ended up in Nicopolis. Believe it or not, I spoke the truth. I should have put a stop to him and taken over his band. Why? Because a weak king was just what they wanted. Everyone did whatever they wanted and exploited the situation for their own benefit. Do what you like to me. Take your revenge if you can. Better to betray than be betrayed. The stronger one. The victorious one. That's the right side. Let's do it then. Yes. I'm begging you. He'll betray anyone. So where are you in all of this, boy? What's your plan? You're right, but most of them came to a bad end. Or ended up as beggars. I'm still alive, you bastard! You know, not everyone is lucky enough to be the bastard son of the royal hetman. So I had to work harder. This is just between the two of us. Eric never did anything to you. Leave him out of it. You didn't understand what I said before? Or have you forgotten? Are you trying to make me laugh? Eric's a common villager. Like you. Even more than you, in fact. His father wasn't a nobleman, but a peasant. Drown me in blood if you want, but leave him be, please! Because we are, including your father and Hanush. And Sigismund would put an end to that. That's all that's behind it. Sigismund is just trying to clean up the mess he made. Fight fire with fire. The Czech nobles were given a chance, but instead of taking advantage of it, they started to rebel. While Sigismund has the Turks on his borders, but has to deal with your petty squabbles instead. Then Sigismund dealt with them in Hungary. Just like he's dealing with things here. Zizka was more cautious and faster than I expected. But you lot weren't too successful either. So just what are we accusing each other of here? You still don't get it? I'll repeat my advice to you. Betrayed by your father, betrayed by the League of Lords, and that Yops will betray you too. What's it to be? And I wouldn't expect him to wait around until a messenger brings a ransom from Ratai. For the time being, Wait and see, and that's why I'm locked up here now. In any case, you wouldn't be alive without me. Believe me, sir. Besides, seeing what happened, I don't think Zhishka is going to want to stay long. I have to admit, your father did a good job on it, though. Beautiful work. His last. But don't worry, sir. I haven't said my final word yet. Fate, I suppose. We have the same fairy godmothers. I'll be free before you know it. Don't tell anyone, but how about the man who sent me here? And a loyal servant of King Sigismund, and our Sir Otto von Burgau. Just like you, sir. Or am I mistaken? Will the captain believe someone who attacked him with von Burgau's forces, or me? That remains to be seen. If either of us has a chance of getting out of here alive, it's certainly not you. I was given a direct order by my lord, who is yours too, and I'm carrying it out as best as I can. Like I said, if everything had gone to plan, it wouldn't be us in this dungeon, but Zhishka. Whores. So Yaramir isn't stupid enough to want to get rid of the only ally he has to hand. It was a direct order from Sir Otto, and he's close by. Unlike Lord Hanush is at the other end of the country. I'm doing what I do best, and you're getting in my way again. You may be in for a surprise, Lord Capon. Your sword? You're still bothered about that? It's only a piece of iron. Assuming there will be any discussion with the captain. Why do you think so? The little misunderstanding with the captain will get sorted out soon enough. One way or another. Why do you think you're still alive? Thanks to me. I persuaded Zhishka not to get rid of you for good. Unfortunately, getting away from here in time and warning Sir Otto about the trap was harder than I expected. Really? People like Zhishka know coin is more important than revenge. You can't pay a band of mercenaries with nice feelings. One way or another, he won't have any need for you. Either of you. And that's when my time will come. I'm not sure you'll get the opportunity, to be honest. Indeed. While these two support that drunken, good-for-nothing Wenceslas, like that bastard Zhishka, no doubt. Surprisingly, I have better prospects than you two, and waiting for a ransom is only the last resort. Strangling your rescuer would be a mistake, Sir Yaramir. A big mistake. And most likely a mortal sin. What's interesting is that you cross my path again when I'm doing what I do best. Isn't that right, Sir Yaramir? Gain Zhishka's trust and stop his perfidious raiding once and for all.